Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Owula Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. My name is Nanatufo Wati. Coming up. Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union ends indefinite strike.
After meeting with the two ministers, Road and Highways and Transport, and in the further consultation with their members, with our members, the union has decided to suspend strike by midnight today, 29th June 2020.
Government refutes claims of abandoning Agenda 111 health projects.
What has started? That is a vision and the aim of His Excellency the President to commission them before the midnight of 6th of January 2025. All those that we have started.
Also coming up, Parliament urged to release funds for tackling perennial flooding as Works and Housing Committee Chairman demands action.
Yes, as I said, it is like in the late 1950s. So what have we done as a country? Mr. Finance Minister, the voice of court, please finance the Housing Ministry, let them have the funds so that they can work.
Still ahead, adjournment granted in James Gyakye Quayson's criminal trial as High Court awaits full application documents.
We have a commitment together. Nobody can break us apart. And if they want to go 10 times by election, I'll win 10 times. I can assure you that.
So in business. Banking consultant warns of customer confidence impact as Fidelity Bank and First National Bank Ghana face forex license suspension.
Punishment that they are being given, firstly, is that they are going to pay 1,000 penalty units. A penalty unit is 12 cedis, so effectively 12,000 Ghana cedis.
Grateful that you stayed on with us. Let's now bring you the details of our stories. The Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union has called off its indefinite strike after a productive meeting with the Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoakwata. Citi News' Daniel Dromensa brings us the details in this report.
On Monday, June 26, the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union and Liquefied Petroleum Gas Tanker Drivers announced an indefinite strike in response to the poor road network around their loading terminals in Tema, Buipe, Kumasi and Takoradi. The drivers expressed concerns about gas explosions and their own safety due to the deteriorated condition of the roads, prompting them to park their vehicles and register their frustrations.
The road from Vaku Runabout to Pom, and this is where we transport the fuel from. This is store. You understand? There is one depot to the other side. Then from Tor, you go to fuel trade. Tor, we do both white products, ATK, and then gas. And this is gas plant. So look at the depth of this road. When a tanker fully loaded, 54,000 or 45,000, enters this road, we have something we call the fifth wheel. We call it the turntable. It's something very small which is holding the tanker, the head to the bulk. That thing can break here. And with the petroleum product, when the car falls, it is iron, though it will cause a spark.
In response, a delegation from the Ministry of Roads and Highways visited the Volta Aluminium Company Limited, Pong Road in Tema, to assess the road conditions. The delegation assured the aggrieved tanker drivers that their concerns would be addressed promptly and arranged for a crucial meeting with the Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoakwata.
The minister has sent his delegates to come to see how things are. So we took them to the road to see the nature of the road. And what they saw, they cannot even talk. So They said they will take the issues back to the minister so that we'll schedule a meeting and then they will come and work on it immediately. But for us, we stand where we stand until the commitment is done. We see that there are machines on the road. We are still waiting for them to do that before we go back to work. We are rather helping the government because if, God forbid, there's a rollover of a gas tanker or fuel tanker, we have closer to the township, closer to the depots, new town closer to the depots. So any leakage or any spillage, and it can invite fire. So when there's a fire in any of the depots, the whole Tema will get burnt. And then what happened in the western region, the explosion happened in the western region, has taught us a lesson. That is why we don't want the government to go through what they went through in the western region. So we are rather helping the government not to go through such an incident again. That is why we decided to put our tools down for them to fix the road before we continue the work.
The meeting took place as scheduled, with Mr. Mwakwata accompanied by the Minister of Transport, Gyakye Quayson, and officials from both ministries inspecting the Valkopong Road in Tema. Following the inspection, the union's chairman, George Nyanu, addressed the media, emphasizing the urgent need for the government to improve the road as a temporary measure.
Embassy so na hu se ampa bulldozer de dey esi so mutie ni ye na obi emfama no enkoboni ye respect authorities ni nyina mi gina ma ka kire mu se ahoma se mi kon mi pese o betwi mi wo form eti ne mi kan ni se omboa mi susu na ye mboa drivers no o ma grade abesi kwan no so na ye hu se grade no ampa start a contractor no wo grade wo ho grader ho se grader be start free tour na o start Julia obi aba hu se den bibi koso ba ultimate ko Philip Portos no kitikiti no ho na waka se wa start iti uye adwuma no mutie ne ye iti o se yo wate o pese oni ye kosia. You get the point. Either say obeji onu atumo onji tumo wan kan kire wa ha iti munye din ye kosia na asem wey edi puma ye kita wa ye san area den edi kokosia no say ye see yempe asphalt sia yempe sia ye pese omujuri so maye.
Subsequently, the crunch meeting resulted in the union calling off their strike after reaching agreements on several actions as announced by the vice chairman of the union, Sunday Alabi.
After meeting with the two ministers, Road and Highways and Transport, and in the further consultation with their members, with our members, the union has decided to suspend strike by midnight today, 29th June 2023, based on the following conditions. 1. Though works are currently ongoing on Tor Road and the contractor will increase his equipment holding on the road and ensure that riding quality is improved within 3 weeks. 2. The access road to the depots in Kumasi, Thakrade, and Bupe are improved. Works on this access road will be commenced by tomorrow, 30th June 2023.
Mr. Alabi stated that a 7-member committee consisting of representatives from the government and the union will be formed to oversee the road improvement project.
A 7-member committee is formed. The Ministry and Road and Highways will give us 3. Then 4 from the union has been set up to monitor proper of projects of the works in Tema, Kumasi, and Bupe. Number 3, a 7-member committee formed, 3 from the ministries, 4 from the unions, has set up to monitor the progress of works in Tema, Kumasi, and Bupe.
In a related matter, various LPG outlets across the country have experienced shortage of their products following the earlier strike by the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union. The situation, according to the LPG Marketers Association, has led to the formation of long queues at LPG outlets and increased pressure on the few outlets with stock. There is more in the following report by Citi News' Daniel Sakite and read to you by Eno Safo.
The 4-day-old sit-down strike by the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union over the deplorable state of roads around their loading terminals took a heavy toll on the LPG outlets in the capital city, as some outlets recorded shortages of the product. The LPG Marketers Association earlier warned that the strike action, which began on Monday, will have a negative impact if it lasted beyond 48 hours. With the strike lasting beyond the said duration, the association says stocks depleted at some outlets, while there was increased pressure on the few which had some.
We granted an interview to you and we predicted that within 48 hours, if this is not resolved, we will start experiencing shortages across the country. And this is exactly what is happening. Even in Accra, if you go to the LPG station at Alajo, there's a lot of queue there. If you go to the one at Jolu, they don't have gas. There are a lot of pockets of outlets across the country that does not have LPG. If you go to Nkoko, there's an LPG station there. They don't have LPG. If you go to Konongo, there's a Machiansa gas station. They don't have LPG. If you go to Kumasi, there's a Ngunaga Junction. They don't have LPG. And it's scattered all over. And this has put a lot of pressure on the ones that are having few stock. And I'm afraid by close of today into tomorrow, a lot of LPG stations in Ghana will run out of stock. As I speak to you now, about 25% of LPG stations across the country do not have stock. And this will shoot up to about 50% by close of today. So going into the tomorrow and into the weekend, by this weekend, we expect that all the stocks of LPG in the system will run out. So by Sunday, we should expect serious crisis on hand.
At the time of Citi News' visit to some LPG outlets in Accra, it was observed that some stations were experiencing a surge in customers, a situation the managers of the facility say was as a result of the shortage of gas at some other outlets. Manager of Alajo Gas Filling Station, Amos Ania, has been speaking to Citi News on the impact of the shortage on the LPG outlet.
The current stock that we are having is the last one we had on Monday. We are still selling that one. We are still on that one for now. For now, because we are having gas, we know the impacts will not get us. But when it gets finished, by all means, that's where we feel the impacts of the strike. The rush to buy the gas since yesterday, then today. So there's a little bit of pressure on us.
Other users of LPG products who visited some stations were left disappointed as they were greeted with a no gas inscription. They had no option but to comb the city in search of gas stations with stock. Some of the customers spoke to Citi News.
I think they didn't come, and I don't know whether there's a shortage of gas. I don't really know what's going on. Yes. So right now I'm looking for a place to fill my cylinder. It's very, very important. I need it urgently. Yes. It's affecting me very bad because we need it. We need it. We have a program right now. We need the gas to work with right now at the moment. Yes. What I can say is that since, as you already said, I think they said the roads are not good and it really destroyed the tankers, and the tankers are really expensive. So what I really want the government to do now is to find ways and means for us to get the gas. We are paying for it, and it's not for free too. And the roads today, I think they have to construct it.
I'm free pig farm. Maybe there's no gas. See, apart from I say, meaning be me back when you be. Let's say be a makoto bidie. No my use. Much in a day crow. And my copy be over fufu. But I need a mean to me coaching. If to make some color of feet or more form. And I'm a job my bus in my feeling gas.
I went to Joe. I saw that the place of road. So that's why I came here. I'm from Big Farm, the Los Westland. So I came here to fill gas. And I saw that there's some here. So today that I experienced that there's some shortage of gas. So it's going to affect us very well. I thought it to be solved very soon, within the shortest possible time, so that we don't get some problems at our company.
Let's bring you more on this matter because prior to the tanker drivers calling off the strike, the leadership of the LPG Marketers Association in the Ashanti region warned the strike by the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union was beginning to take a toll on the operations of some retail outlets. According to the LPG operators, some outlets would have run out of stock if the strike by the tanker drivers entered the following week. Citi News' Ashanti regional correspondent Hafiz Tijani reports.
At this parking yard at Kase, tanker trucks that transport petroleum products across the country did not work for days. The tanker drivers embarked on a sit-down strike to protest the poor state of roads leading to their depots. Their action threatened businesses in the LPG retail outlet space. Customers who visited the outlets say they will be affected should there be a shortage of LPG.
As we all know, in our daily activities at home, we use gas. I think the gasoline, we use it, I think, in many things we do at home, especially when it comes to cooking. And also, when you are in a rush, especially in the morning, you usually get the gas helping you so that you live very fast as compared to the charcoal. So it makes we save time, save energy, and also cook our things very fast.
How can I cook without gas? So the effect will be very bad. Yeah, it won't be a good one. It will be a very bad one.
It will be very difficult to get gas to come to our constituency as I'm talking to you now. Right now too, everybody is available searching for gas. Even within a next week, we couldn't get gas to cook or do whatever. It will be difficult for us.
They appeal to the government to address the concerns of the tanker drivers.
The road matter too, I think is very necessary about the road, but it will take time small before the government to do that road for them. So they should manage or they have a different road which will help to provide us gas. I think we will beg them so that they will I think they will get a different road which is good to provide us gas more. So I think the government will do its best to provide gas as time goes on.
Because from what I'm hearing, they are saying the roads are their major problem. That's why they are not getting access to the various depots they are to distribute the gas to. So I plead and I sent my comment to the government that he should come in and make sure our roads are accessible by making them useful or better so that they can access it and everything will go on well for the whole country.
We are appealing to the government to solve this predicament immediately because we, the consumers, will be in serious peril. So that's what I can say. Yeah.
Tanka da banu amfama ono so le commission kwa no nya ana me so amfama me so ka me gas case we e be dem me gas e kum da adwuma na me so ko tena fi nti adwuma stop preko de ade am se hadwen kakra nti asem am de man de ye ni mo sese abanwa na ekwan no enkoso mayen sa aban nti me anhwe amakwan no a ka kase no de ayi load be brain a ahoche be ka omen.
Other fuel stations Citi News visited also raised similar concerns. LPG retail outlets like this one say they could run out of stock anytime soon if the strike by members of the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association prolongs. Hafiz Tijani, Citi News, Kumasi, Ashanti region.
You're watching the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Still to come. Government refutes claims of having abandoned Agenda 111 health projects. We'll be right back with the details. Please stay.
just been extra sweet. And the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service. This is the neighborhood I'm having my twins.
The very reason why I took it for us. See, the price is very good and it's spacious to contain all of us.
Alphabet City. Now I'm a landlord. I don't pay rent. And my Airbnb business is booming.
To me, Pamini, bank in Amina say Alphabet City. The pension pay me 20%. The payment plan, I want to share my just very smooth.
This is a healthy place to raise our families and creating peace. Come on, be my neighbor.
Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
Alphabet City is a classy and peaceful gated community in Sakumono. We have 24/7 top-notch security and high-quality access roads. We have 3 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, 3 bedrooms and 3 washrooms with boys' quarters. We have 3 bedrooms and 4 washrooms. We have 2 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, all with beautiful kitchens and kitchenettes. Call Alphabet City on 0240-111119 or 050-44-99999. Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
You're welcome back. Let's bring you some more stories. Now, the government has debunked assertions that some Agenda 111 health projects have been abandoned. According to the government, construction works have commenced on 88 of the projects, while contracts of some non-performing contractors have been terminated. Although authorities are not able to give clear timelines on when the respective projects would be completed, Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Insiasari, says government is hopeful of completing the projects before the end of President Akufo-Addo's second term. There is more in the following report by Citi News' Middle Belt Bureau Chief, Edward Opomafu.
The President on August 17, 2021, cancelled for the construction of the 111 hospitals and assured of completing work within 18 months. Under the project, 101 district hospitals, 7 regional hospitals, 1 national psychiatric hospital, and 2 regional psychiatric hospitals are supposed to be constructed. While some projects started shortly after the shortcutting, Citi News checks in some districts showed that many of the projects were bedeviled with a number of challenges as authorities struggled to get suitable places to commence construction works. At Asokore Mampong, for instance, Citi News gathered that a designated area which was waterlogged initially posed a number of challenges. Many Ghanaians have thus raised doubts on the government's seriousness to work on the projects. The minority in Parliament, even in January 2023, raised concerns about a delay in commencement of work on the projects and indicated that government is not committed to it. This was when the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Minta-Kando, spoke to journalists during a visit to the proposed site of the Akrofrom District Hospital in the Ashanti region. But speaking to journalists at Trede in the Ashanti region, where the project was launched 2 years ago, Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Insiasari, assured that there is available funding and as such work will not stall.
There's no site which has abandoned. The sites that are not being working are sites which have either topographical issue, land size issue, or we didn't have land. I know where they were talking about. They went to, I think, Kwabrakwa, Boasi, they went to Akrofo. Akrofo, when they went there, they saw machines there. The land was being prepared. There was a serious topographical issue there. There was some, what you call, rocks under the ground. So now they've managed to do all of them, and we went there 2 days ago, and they started working again. Government will all what has started. That is the vision and the aim of His Excellency the President, to commission them before the midnight of 6th of January 2025. All those that we have started.
Dr. Anthony Siansari further added that when completed, this will help address issues related to graduate unemployment, particularly with respect to nurses and other health workers.
This is a huge employment opportunity. There are about 101 district hospitals, 7 regional hospitals. We employ, even a typical district hospital like this, the total number of people that we employ here will be more than 100. So if you multiply 100 by this, so they will be reassured. We are even giving employment. This year we have given a financial clearance for people to be employed. Where we are standing is what you call the commerce area. So food will be served here for people who are coming here. So somebody can come here, get a place, and then put something here and then sell it from the town here.
On his part, Information Minister Kojo Oponkruma noted that so far, 88 out of the 111 projects are under construction. He added that the contracts of some non-performing contractors have been terminated.
The project targets 111 projects. The brief I have is that 88 are currently under construction. It's grouped into 8 zones. In those 8 zones, you will find 54 projects. We have visited 33 sites so far. And we thought that today, coming to Trede, which is where it all began, it's important to showcase from Trede all that has gone on so far. We have also provided you with the reports of the sites that we have visited so far. The majority of them that are doing well, the few of them that are behind schedule. We've also updated you on the ones we've had to terminate because they are behind schedule.
According to Dr. Anthony Siansari, the Chumakwanoma District Hospital being constructed at Trede, which is 62% complete, is expected to be completed by the end of 2023. For residents in the area, they lament that they face serious healthcare challenges, and as such, they want government to complete the project as early as possible.
Hospital honum intime pa de me pese nka na na yesra na akufo ado se wonye ntem emaye
yedi ka se na se newom de ye kan se oma omani nko ho na afi data mo settle se omdi ace no omusin kama my na afi no yenso yenya kwani nkum.
The government is assuring that it won't abandon the Agenda 111 projects across the country. And in fact, government is insisting that they'll be able to complete all these projects before the end of President Akufo-Addo's second term. For Citi News, I'm Edward Oponmafo, Trede, Ashmakwanguma District, Ashanti Region.
The chairman of the Works and Housing Committee of Parliament, Isaac Esiama, is asking the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, to release funds to deal with perennial flooding in the country. This comes after the Minister for Works and Housing, Francis Asenso-Boakye, appealed to Parliament to consider allocating portions of the road and sanitation levy to the ministry to help in addressing the challenge. Reacting to this presentation, Isaac Esiama says the ministry must be adequately resourced to discharge its mandate.
While answering questions on the floor of Parliament on Thursday, the Deputy Minister of Energy, William Oreku-Edu, revealed that a private firm, Misak Limited, had dismantled about 90% of the Osagifo power barge without any authorization by the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. He provided an update on the status of the Osagifo power barge, which has been left to rot in the Jomoro constituency.
The Ministry of Energy, in a letter dated 16th of November 2015 and referenced SCR, whatever, directed GMPC to take over the ownership of the barge. However, due to the prolonged legal dispute which prevented GMPC from working on the barge, no maintenance activities could be performed throughout the arbitration, leading to the deterioration from excessive corrosion. In line with the Public Procurement Authority guidelines, as mentioned above, GMPC constituted a board of survey to physically inspect the barge and recommend best disposal option. On the 9th of February 2023, the board of survey team visited the barge site and provided a status update in a report dated 28 March 2023. The team observed that about 90% of the OPD at the barge was dismantled. Through interactions with the local community, it is believed that Mishak Limited carried out the dismantling of the barge without engaging GMPC to formalize an arrangement or an agreement as directed by the Minister of Energy.
Addressing the media in Parliament, the Member of Parliament for the Jomoro constituency, Dorcas Afotofe, urged the government to take legal action against the private firm and also called for transparency in the decommissioning of the Osagifo power barge.
What surprised me the most is that till today, there has not been any legal action taken against the company that did this illegal act. Rather, the government is seeking to share the proceeds from the illegal sale of the power barge. Yes. And as the MP for the area, I am demanding that the right thing will be done. The company who dismantled 90% of the power barge will be brought to law. And also a full-scale or forensic audit into the disposal of the barge. And finally, calling for high level of transparency in the final sale of the Ifasu badge.
The Minister for Works and Housing, Francis Asenso-Boakye, was also in Parliament to provide updates on measures by the government to contain flooding in Accra and the entire country. He indicated that efforts made by the government over the years to mitigate the impact of flooding have been thwarted by human activities such as the filling of lagoons and wetlands and the indiscriminate disposal of solid waste into gutters.
Mr. Speaker, ahead of the pending rainy season, I embarked on a working visit of some flood-prone communities in Accra with technical staff from the Ministry and the Ghana Hydrological Authority to ascertain our level of preparedness and gain first-hand insights into the challenges we face when it comes to mitigating the risks associated with flooding. Mr. Speaker, it became more evident that human activities are severely impeding government's effort to tackle the issue of flooding. The observations include filling of lagoons and wetlands with construction materials for development purposes, building on drainage channels, hence blocking the free flow of storm water, dumping of solid waste in drains, thereby reducing their capacity to hold storm water, and the gaps in the enforcement of planning laws and building regulations by the various MMDAs. Subsequently, Mr. Speaker, Cabinet at its 47th meeting held on Saturday, 25th March 2023, considered a report on my inspection of the drainage infrastructure here in Accra. Cabinet noted the need to consider flooding in Accra as a national security issue, since effective law enforcement has a major role to play in addressing the challenge. I wish to invite this August House to give serious consideration to committing, for instance, a proportion of the road fund, given the impact of drains on the lifespan of roads. The sanitation levy, in view of the effect of solid waste on drainage capacity, and the common fund, recognizing the need for a holistic and efficient drainage system to flood control in the country. By so doing, Mr. Speaker, we will clearly showcase the nation's unwavering dedication to addressing this age-long challenge in a comprehensive manner. I'm happy today that we have the finance minister here. Mr. Speaker, I think when we are prioritizing areas, flooding should be considered. Well, last year, as my brother did indicate, last year, for example, the Minister for West Housing here, I'm seeing, brother, you are suffering. You are suffering. And Honorable Water said that he also suffered in the area when he was there. He's suffering. That young man is suffering. Last year, for example, he was given only 80% of his release. 80%. Only 80%. So how can he work? How can he work? So, Honorable Finance Minister, please, you are here today. I'm happy you have been summoned here on this matter. Let us address this issue critically. Because flooding is because so much to the country. So we need to address it. The Speaker, as I did indicate, I've tabulated events. May 5th, 2010, Central Accra of Vancouver flooded. June 10, 2010, there was about 35 people were killed in that incident. 35. October 14, 2010, fires displaced 1,000 people. October 18, 2010, floods submerged 55 communities in central Gonja and Bupe. These are documented. We are living in floods. These are documented. They are there. November 2nd, 2010, floods in Accra and Nafran Place. February 24, 2011, heavy rains in Accra. So we are living in this thing. It's only reversed all these years. As I said, it dates back in the late 1950s. So what have we done as a country? Mr. Finance Minister, the voice is not called. Please finance the House Ministry. Let them have the funds so that they can work.
Sometimes it's not merely the non-availability of money. The problems are not natural disasters, Mr. Speaker. We are creating them. Majority of the time we are creating them. Do we want to say that we don't want rains, but we want to have food? We don't want rain, but we want to have water? That is not the way God creates the world. There should be rain, but the rain should not become a disaster. We should be happy it's raining. Indeed, farmers are happy when it's raining. It's only those of us who are getting flooded that don't like the rain. Simply because, Mr. Speaker, we have totally neglected the spatial planning.
Reporting from Parliament, my name is Gyakye Quayson for Citi News.
This is the Citi Newsroom, still to come. Adjournment granted in James Gyakye Quayson's criminal trial as High Court awaits full application documents. We'll tell you more shortly. Do stay.
We are back. Wines of South Africa, Rossa, is back in Ghana for the biggest wine show ever. Date, Saturday 15th July at the Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. Time, 7 p.m. sharp. Wines of South Africa Grand Tasting Event 2023 is proudly brought to you by Wines of South Africa and John Williams Consults Ghana. This event is sponsored by Ghana Export Promotion Authority and Best National Bank. Partners, South African High Commission, Accra, South African Airways, and Labadi Beach Hotel. Media partners, AmayalDebra.com, Citi FM, Citi TV, Voyage Afrique Magazine, and Ovation Magazine. Don't miss out on this extraordinary event by securing your tickets now at bossa2023.eventbrite.com or call 0553-271-032. Remember to come celebrate with Wines of South Africa, Saturday, 15th July 2023, 7 p.m. at Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. Wines of South Africa, welcome to our world of discovery. Strictly by invitation and reserved for 18 years and above.
Finally, anyone can become a household.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Flip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand a chance of winning a house or cash or consolidated prizes, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.ugoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Flip it or own it. Ugoflip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
You're welcome back. Now, the Lejukuku Municipal Assembly has commenced the dredging of the Sango Lagoon at Teshi in Accra. The project, which will span a period of 3 months, involves removing accumulated sediment, debris, and vegetation from the lagoon, ultimately restoring its original depth and capacity. The following report has more.
The Sango Lagoon in Teshi Mamli in Accra is crucial in preventing flooding and enabling fisherfolks to carry out their daily activities. Unfortunately, the area is prone to flooding and is low-lying due to the accumulated sediment and debris covering a significant part of the lagoon. This makes it difficult for water to flow freely into the sea during rainfall. After several stakeholder meetings with fisherfolks and residents, the government has started dredging the lagoon. The project is expected to take 3 months to complete. Gyakye Quayson, the Chief Executive Officer of the Lejukuku Assembly, stated that the project will avert flooding in the municipality.
As you are aware, we have dredged the entire length of the Sango stream from the top, but now we are at the lagoon itself. We are dredging to expand the capacity of the lagoon. In fact, we are restoring the boundaries of the old lagoon in order to increase the capacity of the lagoon to hold rain water. But there's also another reason why we are doing all of this. We are doing this also to enable the fisher folk to be able to moor their or anchor their canoes in calmer water, so that when the sea is rough, their canoes don't crash against the newly constructed breakwater. The situation was quite bad from the flooding, and we know that we used to have flooding all the way back to the Jordan Methodist and the area around it. Now we hope that with the desilting or the dredging of this lagoon, that issue of flooding in the low-lying areas will stop.
Lamenting the challenges residents and fisherfolks have had to bear with, the treasurer of the Teshi and Lejukuku Fishermen Association, Jacob Ananlaye, pledged to support the assembly to achieve its purpose.
Now, the High Court in Accra has adjourned to July 4 an application for stay of proceedings of the criminal trial of newly elected Member of Parliament for Assin North, James Gyakye Quayson. The trial judge, Justice Mary Zanzu, said the adjournment was because the court had not received the full complements of the application documents. There's more in the following report.
The lawyers of Mr. Quayson argue that the application is to stay proceedings in the High Court so that the Court of Appeal can determine whether or not the High Court was right to rule that Gyakye Quayson's criminal trial be heard on a daily basis. James Gyakye Quayson is at the Court of Appeal challenging the daily trial order in the criminal proceedings against him at the High Court. On June 16, the High Court, presided over by Justice Mary Zanzu, ruled that the case be heard on day-to-day basis. That was after the court turned down a request by Quayson to have the trial continued after the June 27 Assin North by-election to enable Quayson to concentrate on campaign activities. But the trial judge, Justice Mary Zanzu, said adjournments are a discretion of the court and not the convenience of parties. At the resumption of the trial on June 29, the court adjourned to July 4 following a motion by Quayson's lawyers to stay proceedings until the Court of Appeal rules on the daily ruling of the High Court. A member of James Quayson's legal team, Sami Jemfi, spoke to the press after proceedings.
Yes, justice delayed is justice denied, but justice hurried is also justice buried. There are serious issues about the testimony of the first witness that the accused has called, that lawyers for the accused will require ample time to cross-examine. And it is totally unacceptable, in our opinion, for her ladyship to say that the cross-examination should be done on a daily basis and should be restricted to certain, limited time periods. We don't think that affords the accused, the re-elected member of parliament for Asenov, a fair hearing. And that is why we are raising all these issues. And if you read the application for stay of proceedings, lawyer Gyakye Quayson, we cite similar comments which were made about lawyer Gyakye Quayson when he was being prosecuted, or if you like, persecuted in similar fashion at the time the President of the Republic was the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in the early 2000s. And these were some of the comments they made. And the issues were not addressed. At the end of the day, judgment was given in the matter when the accused did not even know that judgment was going to be given in the matter. His lawyers were not present and all that. It is that kind of kangaroo trial, that kind of, biased trial, where things are hurried at the expense of the constitutionally guaranteed rights of accused persons, that lawyers for Honorable Quayson are trying to avoid.
There was a significant presence of party supporters for Gyakye Quayson at the High Court, some carrying placards and singing songs. Mr. Quayson was upbeat about his return to Parliament.
The good people of Asenov, we have a commitment together. Nobody can break us apart. And if they want to go 10 times by election, I'll win 10 times. I can assure you that. No. They're not in for money. They're in for real development. They want their lives fixed. So, say again, I'm the first gentleman of Asenov right now.
Communications officer of the NDC, Sami Jenfi, then announced a scheduled Thanksgiving rally in the Asenov constituency.
Twice, the Electoral Commission will have to formally communicate the results of the by-election, by a writ, to the August House of Parliament. We understand that that process is ongoing. It is our expectation that by close of day today, Parliament would have received formal notification. And it is our hope that by tomorrow, the newly elected Member of Parliament for Asenov, the chosen one, will be sworn in Parliament.
Well, this is still the Citi Newsroom. Up next is CNR Business with Eno Safo.
Hello and welcome to CNR Business with me, Eno Safo. Now, banking consultant Nana Otuye-Champon has stated that customer confidence will be impacted following the suspension of the forex licenses of Fidelity Bank, Ghana Limited, and First National Bank, Ghana Limited, from June 29, 2023 to July 28, 2023, after they breached Sections 3.4, 3.5, and 3.9 of the Ghana Interbank Forex Market Conduct Rules. There's more in the following report.
The Bank of Ghana on Thursday fined Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited and First National Bank Ghana Limited each for breaching sections 3.5, 3.4 and 3.9 of the Ghana Interbank Forex Market Conduct Rules. Section 3 of the Ghana Interbank Forex Market Conduct is on market rules. Subsection 3.4 is on indicative quotes. 3.5 is on trade reporting on platforms, while 3.9 is on fixing of official exchange rates. The central bank, which meted out the sanction, also fined the two banks a combined 1,000 penalty points each, that is 12,000 Ghana cedis. The suspension of the banks from forex trading is for 30 days and takes effect from today, June 29 to July 28, 2023. By this notice, forex market players are being cautioned to adhere strictly to the applicable forex market regulations and guidelines. Despite this, both banks have announced the establishment of special arrangements with partner banks. The introduced arrangements will enable them to initiate and complete foreign exchange deals for their clients, ensuring continuity throughout this period of suspension. Banking consultant Nana Otuye-Champon has been explaining what this means to the banking sector.
The punishment that they are being given, firstly, is that they are going to pay 1,000 penalty units. A penalty unit is 12 cedis, so effectively 12,000 Ghana cedis. But the bigger version is this suspension of dealing in forest for 30 days. That has got disproportionate repercussions for the banks involved, because it means they cannot deal in foreign exchange for those 30 days.
There is an impending power crisis as the Chamber of Independent Power Producers has directed its members to cut supply to the national grid from July 1. The directive to nominate nothing and not declare an availability of power to the system operator is to last till July 8. Members of the Chamber include Sunana Sogli, Sen Power, Car Powership, AXA, Twin City Energy and Senate. The Chamber issued the directive in an email cited by Citi Business News. The Department of Agriculture in the Tana South municipality of the Ahafo region is targeting to increase rice production to 6,000 metric tons this year as it empowers rice farmers in the municipality. The department, in its quest to increase rice production, is touring various communities, interacting and introducing the farmers to good farming practices to enable them get good yields.
The Tana South municipality is the hub of rice production in the Ahafo region with 960 registered rice farmers. The municipality is targeting to increase rice production from last year's production of 5,702 metric tons to 6,000 this year. In line with this, the Department of Agric is touring communities noted for rice production and interacting with farmers and educating them on good agricultural practices that will enable them to get good yields. Paul Adai is the Tana South Municipal Director of Agriculture.
When you come to the Ahafo region, Tana South is the leading producer of rice because of our valleys and then our expertise and then how we have been able to groom our farmers in the area of rice production. The agronomic practices, everything is on point. Because due to our extension agents, they constantly visit these farmers to give them the innovation. So as you can see the bounds here. We don't do the direct sowing, we do the transplanting. So that has increased the yield of rice in the district.
Two of the rice farmers have been speaking to Citi Business News.
The agriculture started this was so quite fast we do a mono and I'm so many as a time we are at the home about BCC and come my.
Maybe here you man in the cover 13 years. A human de boy part first in Duano 11111. A Greek for the say in your bonds. A bit mamma stable soon am I. Yes, I'm so echo my.
That's it for Citi Business News with me, Inu Safo.
Well, this is how we wrap up today's bulletin on the Citi Newsroom. But before we go, let's recap some of our headlines. Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union ends indefinite strike. Also, government refutes claims of abandoned Agenda 111 health projects. We also brought you a story where Parliament were urged to release funds for tackling perennial flooding as Works and Housing Committee Chairman demands action. And adjournment granted in James Gyakye Quayson's criminal trial as High Court awaits full application documents. Go to our website, citinewsroom.com, for more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. My name is Nanatufo Bulletin. Many thanks to you for watching.
Africa.